Yeah, bhaji and chutney. Oh, all
Bhaji
time
and
favorite.
chutney. Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds amazing.
हाय सगळ्यांना, कसे आहात तुम्ही सगळे? बऱ्याचशा एक्झाम्स, रिझल्ट्स सगळं काही आटोपलं असणार आहे. बरेचसे विद्यार्थी मित्र सर्च करतात की पुढे त्यांना काय करायचं याबाबत. तर त्याबाबतच आपण एक पहिला व्हिडिओ टाकला होता आपल्या चॅनलवरती. बघितला नसेल तर नक्की बघा. रिसेंट व्हिडिओ आहे आणि सगळ्या विद्यार्थी मित्रांना उपयोगी पडेल असा व्हिडिओ आहे. तुम्हाला जर जर्मनीला शिकायला यायचं असेल तर त्यासाठीची इत्थंभूत माहिती तुम्हाला कुठे मिळेल या बाबतीतला आपला हा व्हिडिओ होता. यामध्ये मी मेनली 2 रिसोर्सेसची माहिती सांगितलेली, 2 वेबसाईट्सची माहिती सांगितलेली. एक आहे DAAD आणि दुसरी आहे माय जर्मन युनिव्हर्सिटी. या दोन्ही वेबसाईट्सची लिंक पुन्हा एकदा मी या व्हिडिओच्या डिस्क्रिप्शनमध्ये देखील टाकते. या वेबसाईट्सच्या मदतीने तुम्हाला जर्मनीत शिकायला येण्यासाठीची माहिती कशी मिळेल हे एक्सप्लेन करणारा जुना व्हिडिओ होता. पाहिला नसेल तर नक्की बघा, मी वरती त्याची लिंक टाकते. या माहिती बरोबरच मागच्या व्हिडिओमध्ये आपण प्रतीकशी गप्पा मारल्या आणि त्यानं मास्टर्स इन जर्मनी याबद्दल आपल्याला त्याचा अनुभव सांगितला. त्याच्यासोबतच मी इतरही विद्यार्थी मित्रांशी गप्पा मारल्या. ते व्हिडिओ हळूहळू आपल्या चॅनलवर येतीलच. विद्यार्थ्यांसमोर नेहमीच प्रश्न असतो की काय चूज करावं, US ला शिकायला जावं की जर्मनी आणि इतर देशांमध्ये शिकायला जावं. आता परदेशातल्या या ज्या युनिव्हर्सिटीज आहेत जिथं इंग्लिश लँग्वेजमधले कोर्सेस ऑफर केले जातात, तर बऱ्याचशा या युनिव्हर्सिटीजना इंग्लिश लँग्वेज इफिशियन्सीची एक्झाम तुम्ही दिलेली असावी लागते. म्हणजे की TOEFL, IELTS वगैरे या एक्झामची सर्टिफिकेशन्स किंवा स्कोर्स या युनिव्हर्सिटीजना लागतात. जर्मनीमध्ये सगळ्याच युनिव्हर्सिटीजला लागतात असं नाही. मागचा व्हिडिओ तुम्ही बघितला असेल तर तुम्हाला नक्की कळेल. तर जेवढ्या काही विद्यार्थी मित्रांशी मी गप्पा मारल्यात त्यांच्या बोलण्यातनं असं जाणवलं की या ज्या एक्झाम्स आहेत याच्या कोचिंगसाठी त्यांनी जी काही सेंटर्स जॉईन केली होती तर तिथं त्यांना खूप साऱ्या USच्या युनिव्हर्सिटीजकडे वळवलं जातं. कारण USच्या युनिव्हर्सिटीजचे अशा क्लासेसमध्ये, अशा कोचिंग सेंटर्समध्ये कधी टायअप्स असतात. आणि जसं की मागच्या व्हिडिओमध्ये देखील उल्लेख केलेला याचा की जर्मन युनिव्हर्सिटीजचा असा कुठे टायअप नाही आहे. त्यामुळं तुम्हाला त्या बाबतीतलं मार्गदर्शन अशा कोचिंग सेंटर्समध्ये केलं जात नाही. तर असं मला 1-2 विद्यार्थ्यांकडून कळालं. तर त्यामुळे हा व्हिडिओ बनवते. तर या व्हिडिओमध्ये आपण यास्मिनशी गप्पा मारणार आहोत. यास्मिन ही टेक्सासची आहे. US मध्ये तिनं पॉलिटिकल सायन्समध्ये तिचं बॅचलर्स केलंय आणि जर्मनीमध्ये तिने तिची मास्टर्स डिग्री घेतली आहे इन इंटरनॅशनल रिलेशन्स अँड ग्लोबल गव्हर्नन्स. शिवाय तिला एज्युकेशन इन जर्मनी या टॉपिकबद्दल बरंचसं माहिती आहे. ती स्वतः माय जर्मन युनिव्हर्सिटी या वेबसाईटवर फ्री वेबिनार्स घेते आणि स्टुडंट्सना कन्सल्ट करते. ती स्वतः दोन्हीकडे शिकलेली असल्यामुळे आपण तिला खूप सारे प्रश्न विचारलेत एज्युकेशन इन US वर्सेस एज्युकेशन इन जर्मनी या बाबतीतली तिची मतं जाणून घेतली आहेत. अगदी कल्चरल क्वेश्चन्स पण तिला विचारलेत. या व्हिडिओमधून तुम्हाला माहिती मिळेलच, पण तरीही तुम्हाला अजून काही प्रश्न तिला स्वतःला विचारायचे असतील तर खाली मी वेबिनार्सची लिंक टाकते, वेबसाईटची लिंक टाकते. तर तिथल्या वेबिनार्सला नक्की रजिस्टर करा आणि तिथे तुम्ही तुमचे प्रश्न विचारू शकता. हे ॲब्सोल्युटली फ्री आहे. शिवाय तुम्ही मला इंस्टाग्रामवर फॉलो करत नसाल तर नक्की फॉलो करा. कारण यास्मिन लाईव्ह येईल एकदा आपल्या इंस्टाग्रामवर आणि मग तुमचे क्वेश्चन्स ती लाईव्ह घेऊ शकेल. या व्हिडिओतून तुम्हाला इन्फॉर्मेशन मिळेलच, पण जर तुम्हाला लाईव्ह तिच्याबरोबर इंटरॅक्ट व्हायचं असेल तर माझ्या इंस्टाग्रामला नक्की फॉलो करा. मी त्याची डिस्क्रिप्शनमध्ये लिंक टाकते आणि इथं त्याचं युजर नेम टाकते.
I want to know a little bit about education in Germany and how you feel it's different from other countries.
In the US, it's very expensive, first of all. And I know in other countries it's expensive as well, but I think the United States education system is quite infamous for its price tag. And here in Germany, you also have private universities. You have very specialized executive education programs that are offered from public universities that cost money. But there are so many options for students to pursue their education without paying tuition. And for me, that was really shocking. I thought, okay, but how actually is the education? Is it the
Quality.
same? How is the quality of the education? Are they just going to give me a title, or am I actually going to learn? And in Germany, they're not interested in giving you a title.
True.
It's a lot of work, and I just finished my master's. And doing my master's here in Germany was a great decision. I was accepted into one of these more elite private universities that costs money, and I was offered a certain percentage of scholarship to pay. But I didn't want to do that. I don't think that a great education should just be for those who can afford it, for the wealthy.
True.
And I chose to go to a public university, and it was a great experience. I learned a lot, and it was so international, students from all over the world, and hearing all those different perspectives when you're talking about difficult topics is really important.
True.
And I think that's something I maybe would not have had at these expensive universities where the people who are all there are privileged already. So how diverse can your discussions be?
So I want to ask you one fun question. If you were to choose something for lunch from both cuisines, German cuisine and Indian food. So yeah, you're hungry, you want to grab something for lunch, and you can choose one dish from each cuisine. So just so tell us which one you'll choose from India, which one you'll choose from German cuisine.
So first, before I answer, I want to make clear that I've never been to India. So my perception of Indian food is westernized Indian food.
Yeah.
So I know that curry is not really a thing in India, and it's called something else, and it doesn't exist. And so I do know that. So I don't want you to be disappointed in my answer. I'm not going to say curry. I know that's not real. But so I'm thinking of my favorite Indian restaurants in Berlin and what I would order there. And I'm a vegetarian, so I always love to get the vegetable pakora. These little I love
vegetable pakora.
Yeah, this is very good. And also because I really like sauces, and you can always have a very spicy sauce to dip it. This sounds very American, I know, but
No. So we call it chutney.
Chutney.
So sauce is chutney.
I love chutney.
Yeah.
It's great.
And pakora is also bhaji in Marathi. So yeah, bhaji and chutney.
Bhaji and chutney. Oh, that sounds amazing. And also it's not so healthy, which I also like.
It's more of a starter or appetizer, you can say. Yeah.
And anything with naan, because I love it. I love bread. Also in Germany, I love bread. When I go to Mexico, I eat bread. I eat tortillas, which is kind of like a big flat naan bread, and you roll food in it and eat it
I love tortillas. Maybe you should take me to Mexico.
Yeah, I love carbs. So bread, I would just eat naan by itself with nothing. Just that's it. I love it. But anything that's spicy.
Yeah. And which dish from Germany? Which lunch menu from Germany you would pick?
Well, I'll give two answers. I'll give a vegetarian answer, and I'll give a non-vegetarian answer.
Okay.
So as a vegetarian, if I'm go to a traditional German restaurant, because German food in Berlin that's not really Berlin food. But if I'm talking about traditional German cuisine, I would order something called Käsespätzle.
Yeah.
So, it means cheese noodles, and it's small little noodles, and then it's mixed with cheese and covered with crisp onions, and it's very delicious.
I'm hungry already.
Yeah, and it's also not healthy, but I love cheese. Anything with cheese, that's great.
Käsespätzle.
And
Yum.
for non-vegetarians, I would just order like schnitzel.
Yeah, that was really interesting. I think I have had a Käse Spätzle, although I loved Käse part of it because I love cheese, and it was yummy, and fried onions, which we usually have in Indian biryanis, but they have on the top
Oh,
of
I love
Käse
biryani.
Spätzle. Yeah, me too. Who doesn't?
I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too. It's almost lunchtime as we are talking
Yeah.
right now. So.
I'm gonna see what I'll eat.
Yeah, but I think it was a little bit less spicy for me, so bland for me. But I think over the time when you live here and you have it many times with for many occasions, then you tend to love it. So yeah. But as you said, German bread, I want to tell this to everybody. Yeah, German bread is delicious. Like yeah, it's yummy. And they have a lots of types of bread. So back home we have like 2-3 types of breads, buns, and the toast bread, something like that. But here they have like you have to learn vocabulary of German breads, so that many.
Yeah.
Just like Indian spices, so many breads in Germany.
Yeah.
Something to be excited for when you come here to study, because they are, I think, very not expensive as well.
Yeah, it's very affordable. Oh,
Yeah.
that's one thing. I'm not sure the difference in India. It could be that it's like a lot more expensive here. But from the US, I mean, food is very expensive in the US, and food that is healthy for you, fruits and vegetables and things that don't have a bunch of chemicals in it are very expensive in the US. And so coming to Germany, I was shocked by how affordable it was. And I could go to the bakery and buy a bread that would last me the whole week for 1 or 2 euros, and that was shocking for me.
Whenever somebody enrolls in the university or has interest in something, there's always one question, like how is the job prospect for this particular course, or how is the future in terms of money and earning. So do all the students in Germany also take this in account?
If you complete a degree program in Germany, all students, international, non-EU or EU, it doesn't matter. All students who complete a degree from a German university are entitled to an 18-month, more loosely translated, it's looking for a job visa.
Oh,
so
okay.
You receive your certificate once your student visa officially is over, the second you get your degree, then you can apply for this 18-month visa that is available if you were educated here. And that way you have 18 months to look for a job in your field, and they're not going to just kick you out of the country. And so I think a lot of students are concerned, well, what happens when I'm done with my degree program? You don't have to leave the next day. You have time. You can look for a job. And studying here, you probably will create some connections in your degree program from your instructors. And I think that's also really great. For example, I always email my former thesis supervisor, if I'm applying for a job or if I need advice on something. So once you're here, you can build a network so you can have these sorts of connections.
So the fun fact about student life, I really wanted to tell you and tell everybody else, because everybody else will agree. Back when I was in college, so how was, the student life for me? We will go out and then have a little cup of tea. So it's called chai, cutting chai. So we'll go to this small place. It's called Annachi Tapri or Tapri. So Tapri is basically a small stall which sells snacks and Indian tea. So so this is like a very beloved student culture back in Maharashtra. So have a chai, have a little bit snack which is called vada pav. I'll just put a picture here so that when you see this video you'll see what the snack is. So it's a potato patties inside a bun, and it's really spicy, and yeah, so students enjoy something like this. It's over the time it has become part of student life. So do you know something like this about German student life which could be exciting to know about and something new other than studies?
So unfortunately, they don't have delicious spicy potato patties because that sounds great. I love spicy. But for me, I would have seminars that would last 3 hours, and we have a break halfway, like 10 minutes, go to the bathroom, get a coffee. And here, tea is also, people like to drink tea, but people really like to drink coffee.
Okay.
And so in between, in our 3-hour seminar, halfway we have a 10-minute break. And here we just go grab a coffee, and there are coffee places everywhere, little like on the corner, or people go to a kiosk, depending on where in Germany you're from. It's called a kiosk, or it's called Späti.
Späti, yeah, I've heard this. Späti.
Yeah. in Berlin, you say Späti. It's short for Spätkauf. Spät means late, and Kauf means buy. So it literally means a late buy. And so it's like these little corner stores that are open all night or until very late that sell coffee and everything. And of course, in Germany, alcohol, I mean, people will have a beer at 10 in the morning. But we did not. We have a coffee as students. And so the culture is a little bit similar, but with some small changes. So coffee and cake is a very German, very quintessential to German culture, having coffee and cake. So maybe you won't have tea and like the spicy potato bun, but you will have a piece of cake and some coffee. And,
yeah, I've heard it. Kaffee und Kuchen, right?
Kaffee und Kuchen.
Kuchen, yeah.
Yeah.